All right, guys, so we're going to be talking about the top 10 social media marketing strategies and tips that is working right now in 2024 for small businesses and entrepreneurs. So I'm going to be breaking it down step by step. I'm going to go over all of the 10. So number 10 isn't more important than number 1, for instance, but it is really important to at least think of all of these, okay? So number 1 on the list is going to be choose one platform to focus on at first. So we're going to start with choose one platform, okay? So, one thing that I see that's a really big mistake is people will try to focus on all the different platforms at first. And this is just a terrible mistake because instead of your focus, right? So let's say this is your focus right here. And let's say you have 100 units of focus, right? 100 units of energy, 100 units of focus per day. If you focus on one platform, you can get really far with that one platform, right? So this is all of your units of focus right here. But if you focus on 10 different platforms, this is your focus, this is what it's going to look like. It's like not necessarily 10, but like 8 different platforms or something. That's what it's going to look like. And guess what? You're going to get nowhere. You didn't move at all. Whereas here, you moved a lot, right? Here, you didn't move at all. You just stayed in the same place. That's exactly what's going to happen if you try to focus on 10 different platforms at once. Okay, so what you want to do instead is you want to pick one mother platform. Now, the 2 best platforms in terms of mother platforms are YouTube and Instagram. I actually made a video about why this is, about why YouTube and Instagram are without a doubt the 2 best platforms. And you can check that video out if you want, but just believe me, YouTube and Instagram are the most profitable platforms. They're the platforms that you get the most bang for the buck out of. And they're the platforms that, you see people that are doing 10 million a year, they're probably doing it on YouTube and or Instagram, okay? And in some cases, people are doing 2 of them, but usually they focused on one platform at first unless they had like a big team. And so the one that I recommend, the one that I think is number 1 is YouTube. I think YouTube is the number 1 mother platform. And what you can do is you focus on YouTube, but then you can syndicate your content to IG, to Twitter or X, to LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Okay, you can syndicate your content out to these other platforms, and there's systems that you can use to do that, right? So you can take little clips, for instance, of your YouTube content, put them in vertical format, and then put them on Instagram, put them on Facebook, etc. You can take little things that you said in your YouTube content that resonated a lot with the audience. If you found that, you can put those on X and Instagram. You can have copywriters and stuff take that. You can take pieces of your script and put them on X and Instagram, et cetera, okay? But you want to focus on one platform, and then you syndicate content to the other platforms, right? And so YouTube is the platform that I highly, highly recommend focusing on. I have some free training and stuff down in the description in the pinned comment below that kind of shows you exactly why that is. So you can check that out, and you can also book a call with me because I teach people how to get clients with YouTube. And then you really want to treat your social media like a business. So this is number 2, okay? Treat social media like a business, okay? Treat social media like a business. So a lot of people treat social media like it's just something fun that they want to do. They want to follow their passion. They want to make a gaming channel and like an entertainment channel where they get paid to play video games. And the truth is, guys, that is very difficult to do because a lot of people want to do that. A lot of people want to get paid to play video games. Can you imagine why? I can't imagine why. Probably because it's super fun, right? To get paid to play video games. So of course, it's incredibly competitive and saturated. And you have to have like YouTube, for instance, your skill level, if you want to do this, needs to be like 95 plus out of 100, like your YouTube skill level. And to get to 95 plus out of 100 is going to take you years. It's going to take years of grinding at YouTube to get to that level. That is not easy. Whereas if you treat YouTube like a business and you make educational content where you're solving real problems for real people that have real money, which I've talked about many times on this channel, you can make basic content, kind of like I'm doing in this video, and you don't have to get that many views, and you can still make a ton of money, right? So your skill, in that case, so this is like, you know, Minecraft, right? If you're doing Minecraft, if you're trying to make like a Minecraft channel, if you're making real content for real people that have real money, solving real problems for real people that have real money, the skill, you really only need like a 20 out of 100, if that, and you're fine. I mean, I've shown you guys so many examples in different videos of channels that aren't that special, and they make a ton of money on YouTube just simply because they're making educational content and they're solving real problems for real people that have real money. And they're in a niche. They're in a very specific niche. They're not making mass market content that appeals to hundreds of millions of people. They're making content that appeals to maybe 50,000 people, maybe 100,000, maybe 200,000 people max on the entire planet, right? And so when you make content like that, it doesn't have to be that good because there's not that much competition. The supply and demand is in your favor, right? So listen, I'm known as the monetization guy. Like I said, you know, you can literally make millions of dollars a year while only getting hundreds or maybe like a couple thousand views per video. And that's exactly what a bunch of my clients are doing, okay? So definitely treat social media like a business. All right, so number 3. Wow, let's try that again. I know, guys, my handwriting is not top tier. Number 3, lead generation. Lead generation is so important, guys. So once you get the traffic, which if you're doing YouTube correctly, you're going to be getting a ton of traffic. Like, think about it. Even if you only get, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views per video, that's like 3,000 people just watched a speech. They literally watched you give a speech. That's essentially what you just did. And so a lot of people that are newbies that don't really understand how YouTube works, they'll see that and they'll be like, oh, only 3,000 views per video or 1,000 views per video? That's terrible. And they'll think, man, this guy must not be making any money. But I've shown in many of my videos that people that get 1,000 to 3,000 views per video, or in some cases even hundreds of views, can still make millions of dollars a year, right? It really just depends on your niche, and it depends on like how educational you are being and the fact that you're solving a very painful problem for people. And so lead generation becomes very important, guys. And specifically, what I highly recommend you do is a couple different types of lead generation. But let's talk about the first one, which is number 4, and that is email marketing. Now, how do you get people on your email list or your newsletter, which is essentially the same thing? Like they're essentially interchangeable. Well, the way you get people on your email list is lead generation. What you do is you give them a lead magnet. You give them something that is valuable in exchange for their contact information. So that would be their name and their email, and in some cases, possibly also their phone number as well. So you give them something valuable. This could be a guide, this could be a checklist, this could be a very short free course. Typically, you want to do something that's very easily consumable. You don't want to give them some course that takes them, 15 hours to go through. You want to give them something that's bite-sized and easily consumable, and that is the way that you can get their email list and they can actually enjoy the content. Hopefully it actually solves their problem or helps them to solve their problem, and then they feel a lot of goodwill towards you because you gave them something that was very valuable, but you also gave it to them for free. Then you have them on your email list, and this is where you can actually market to them really hard. You can sell them, and you own the email list, okay? You own this. Whereas, technically, you don't own a YouTube channel or a social media platform. They could technically ban you at any time, or they could shadow ban you or whatever. Now, it's pretty rare that that happens as long as, you behave yourself, but, it's just a little scary. So the email list is something that I highly recommend. This is something that's been working for over 20 years, and it's gonna still work for 20 years in the future. Email list is insanely effective, guys. Insanely effective, okay? Now, there is something else that works extremely well on YouTube, which is direct marketing. This is where you send them directly to your VSL. So this is typically a VSL. This is a video sales letter. You send them directly to your VSL and you have them book a call with you. And that works really well on YouTube because not only is YouTube getting you a lot of traffic and leads, but it's also nurturing those leads and educating those leads. So a lot of the time, you don't even need to get them on an email list. They're ready to go. They're ready to buy from you. And so a lot of the people will actually just sign up for a call straight off of YouTube. In fact, this is so true that when I was creating this channel, all I did was I left a Calendly link. I left a Calendly link in the description. I didn't even have a VSL, not even a simple VSL or anything, just a Calendly link. And I was able to close $30,000 in the first month from this exact YouTube channel. Starting this exact channel, I closed $30,000 in the first month with a Calendly link, not even a VSL. I didn't get people on an email list. All I did was send them to the Calendly link, okay? So you can do VSL or try this out, guys. Straight up to a Calendly, right? So calendar, try it out. It actually works a lot better than you'd think. In some niches, it works better than others. Yeah, so direct marketing can work really well. Another one, live webinars. Live webinars, guys. These are awesome. Again, the old heads are going to love this. If any old heads out there are watching this, they love their email marketing. They love their live webinars. Guys, live webinars are the truth, okay? Live webinars are the truth. I have basically networked with lots of people who are doing, close to $1 million a month, sometimes more than $1 million a month, and almost all of them do live webinars, okay? And the people that sign up to the webinar and then they show up and then they book a call, that's great. But that's not even the half of it. You get people that sign up to the webinar, they show up and they don't book a call. And what you can do is you can call those people, right? You can follow up with them. You can call them, email them, and text them, right? And this is what the real pros are doing with the live webinars. They're calling people, they're emailing them, they're texting them after the webinar to get them to book a call, okay? Same thing with the people who sign up to the webinar, but they don't show up. Call, email, text, get them to book a call, right? This is what the pros are doing. And this is why they're, in many cases, they're signing like 2 to 3 times more people than just the people that are just doing the live webinars, okay? So tons and tons of people can show up to the live webinars and you can get a lot of sales calls just from a webinar alone. Now, I recommend doing weekly live webinars. That's a really good cadence. And you can get a lot of sales calls, like I said, just from the webinar alone. But if you're calling them, emailing them, and like really like making sure that you use those leads properly, you can get a lot more out of them. So webinars absolutely crush, guys. Webinars slap. They're amazing. All right, so I'm running out of space here. So yeah, this is the first 6, but let's go ahead and do number 7. Okay. So number 7, retarget with paid ads. Okay, this is the stuff that I paid $50,000 to hear at Masterminds, guys. And by the way, for the webinar stuff, I should mention this. Either use Zoom usually or some type of webinar software like Webinar Jam. Just FYI. And then for the email list, a lot of people use ActiveCampaign for the email list. Again, just FYI, but there's other ones you can use. So retarget people with paid ads. Now, a lot of the time, this will be with Facebook. Facebook is amazing for retargeting. This can be with YouTube/Google. I have a client who's absolutely crushing it on YouTube doing the retargeting. Facebook is really good. A lot of people love retargeting on Facebook. Facebook is exceptionally good for retargeting ads specifically. But basically, people who come to your webinar, people who sign up for a call, people who are on your landing page but they don't buy, you can retarget them with Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, and probably other platforms as well. But these are the most common ones, Facebook and YouTube specifically. So retargeting is another thing that can double or triple your revenue, just retargeting properly, right? So retargeting is huge. That's another one that you can definitely do. I don't need to erase it. Let's go number 8 here. Number 8 is going to be sell high ticket. So there's so much, and I probably should have said this at the beginning, by the way, but there's so much hype, guys, about, you know, paid groups and selling low ticket and all this kind of thing. And I'm here to tell you guys right now, high ticket still absolutely dominates the market. High ticket absolutely dominates the market. There is nobody with a paid group that I know of that is doing, you know, 10 million a year with a paid group. Even the biggest groups on school are maybe doing like $1 million a year, something like that. Now, groups can be great if you upsell people from groups to high ticket. So they can be a great way to do lead gen, right? That's one way you can do lead gen, is have like a lower ticket group and then upsell people to do high ticket. But high ticket coaching, high ticket, you know, service, that kind of thing. First of all, it gets the best results, right? High ticket gets the best results. You can't just get results just by giving someone a course. You have to give, you know, feedback, accountability, etc. And then the second thing about high ticket is it's basically it's just the best when it comes to making money. So if you want to get your clients results, do high ticket. If you want to make more money, do high ticket. Okay, high ticket coaching, high ticket agency, consulting, etc. But do high ticket one way or another. And yeah, that there's just nothing more that needs to be said about that. 9, great experience. Give a great experience to the customer. Okay, how do you give a great experience? 1, onboarding. Make sure your onboarding is good. You know, make sure they're not waiting like 2 days to get onboarded. So onboarding, make sure that's really smooth. Expectations. Set clear expectations right away with the clients, right? 3, product. Make sure your product is actually good, right? Make sure that it doesn't suck. Don't just copy your product from someone else, right? Obviously. And then 4, service. Okay, service. Make sure your service is good, obviously. And then I'm kind of running out of space, but I'll go over here really quick. 5, incentive. You need to incentivize your client success managers, your CSMs. You need to incentivize them correctly. So basically, what you want to do is increase your lifetime value. You want to increase LTV by either getting people to do your program again, so that would be continuation, or getting people to ascend to a higher level program. And that would be like, okay, they solve this first problem they have. Now they have a second problem, right? So they solve the problem of like, okay, getting views on YouTube, or, you know, making money on YouTube. Now they have a second problem, which is now they need to hire people to do it for them, right? So that's an operations problem. And you can have a second product that solves that problem, of course. So that's how you increase LTV, is you either get the people to continue with the same product or ascend to a higher level product. And you can incentivize your CSMs to basically, you know, give them 10% or something like that of the price of continuation or ascension. And when you incentivize them to do that, that means they're going to get the client good results, right? Because they're incentivized to get the client good results. The client's not going to continue or ascend if they didn't like the program, of course, right? So incentivizing your CSMs is incredibly important, and all of this will lead to a great client experience. So make sure you're doing all these things. And then finally, let's go number 10. And then the other thing about client experience, there's a couple other things I probably should have mentioned about client experience, is you get more testimonials, which more testimonials means you're going to get more clients, of course. You get more goodwill, so people are going to go out and talk about you and be like, oh my gosh, this program was amazing, and then other people are going to join, etc. So that's really important. And yeah, it's just a compounding snowball effect where you just get a ton of people from referrals. So it's really important to have a great experience for your customer, right? And that's how you do it. It's, have a good product and do all those things that I talked about. Number 10, start making tons of money with referrals. Okay, when you have a good product, you start getting referred all the time. Referrals. And this is why, like, A lot of businesses like mine, after they first get started, they don't even need to market that hard because they're just going to get a ton of people from referrals, right? People are going to join the program. They have a great experience. They're going to tell their friends. They're going to have a great experience as well. I can't tell you how many people, after I got started, are recommending the program for referrals. We get a ton of people they tell their friend, he comes over, boom, there we go, free sale. It's like the easiest money ever for your sales guy if you have the sales guy take the call. So yeah, start making money from referrals. That's number 10. And obviously number 10 requires number 9, and number 9 requires all those other steps. So that was kind of all the steps in a row, but these are 10 proven social media marketing tips for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Like I said, I've got some really good free resources down below for creating content and actually getting traffic and getting all these people, getting these leads, and then getting the sales calls, and then actually closing them, and then getting referrals and ascension and retention, etc. I've got some good stuff down there for that. Definitely check that out, and I will see you next time.